Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on some advances that are going to be coming soon to Disney Plus. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So Disney held its quarterly financial results yesterday, and we've got some new information regarding Disney Plus and their plans to basically make it a lot better. Now, before we get into that, we've kind of got a little bit of an update on how Disney Plus is doing generally in terms of subscribers, and it's not looking great at the minute. It's very flat. Things aren't really moving too much. So currently Disney Plus globally now has 124.6 million subscribers, down 700,000 from the last quarter, which was 125.3 million. Now you might be thinking, well, didn't they have a lot more than that? Well, it's a little bit more complicated because Disney are selling off, or kind of going through the process of selling off Star India, which includes Disney Plus Hotstar. It means now that they've taken out all of the subscriber numbers from Hotstar in India, because that's now technically going to be a different company. They have done a little bit of jiggery-pokery with the numbers, because some countries that were in Southeast Asia that were under Hotstar now come under Disney Plus. It's all a little bit fudgy in terms of how it's worked. Now, actually, in the US, they were able to get subscriber numbers go up. Also, Hulu was able to add over 1 million subscribers. So in the US and in Canada, it's doing pretty well. Internationally, numbers have dropped. Now, they actually forecast that they were going to lose more subscribers this quarter because they put the price up and they were expecting a little bit more resistance. And that's primarily what they think is the problem. Ironically, they actually made more money and they're more profitable, which is exactly why they did the price rise. Now, I'm going to not lie. The one thing that I think definitely hurt them with the kind of the price rise, obviously that's just something that people don't like to see, but especially like here in the UK and what some of the people were getting, you get this like random email telling you that it's going to be coming up for renewal. One of the problems with this email is that it kind of gives us a little bit of wrong information. I think they've done a really bad job in kind of communicating to customers that they have options. It will usually just email them with a price of what the premium version is, at which point there's a bit of sticker shock because it's gone up so much. But they never kind of put in that email that you could also go on on a lower tier at the same price, or maybe even go onto an ad tier to save even more money. I think that they're just the way they designed this email just generally just puts people to go like, oh, I'll cancel, rather than going, oh, I could go down to a different tier to save a bit of money or do something else. I do think they desperately need to look at that. But overall, Disney Plus does seem to be in a little bit of I would say a holding pattern. They've been so focused on becoming profitable, sorting out the US situation with ESPN and Hulu, bringing all of that content in there, bringing in the advancements that they're bringing in for that. And internationally, they've done bugger all, really. We've seen less stuff being released, and we've got none of the new features. We haven't got the playlists. We haven't got any of the other like sports content. It's just generally, Disney Plus, like here in the UK, hasn't really changed in years, and we're just seeing less and less stuff being put on it. So I'm not surprised that we did see a drop. Now, in the future, we might see a little bit more of a push when they can maybe get the US side sorted. They've also got a scope as well to go for other countries that they've not launched in. Now, there are opportunities for them, but obviously, generally, they've lost some. But more importantly, they are making more money, which is what they wanted to do. But also, during that same investors call, Bob Iger was asked about the technical advancements of Disney Plus. And he kind of talked about this in the past, about how he wants to make Disney Plus's homepage much more dynamic, because as far as he's concerned, they're losing a lot of subscribers and a lot of viewership because the homepage is so static and, again, hasn't really moved on. You look at like YouTube or Netflix, they have algorithms that kind of give us different content, showing us what we might want, what we might want to watch differently. If we watch something, it might recommend something else. Whereas the Disney Plus one is very static. I mean, I see so much on that front page. It's like, I've seen it. It's like the algorithm would be able to tell that I don't tend to go back and watch these shows, so why recommend me that? Why not give me something else? That would be what I'd like to see. Also, you flick between, if I flick onto my wife's profile or there's not really much difference. Whereas with Netflix, it's like an entirely different thing. And they know this. But Bob Iger spoke about some of the things that they want to bring in. He went on to say, using technology more and more for personalization and essentially upping our game from an algorithm perspective, getting less out of our control of curation and more basically into the business of serving the consumer what the consumer wants. He also went on to add, we've also got some other work to do internationally, particularly on the ad tier. Ad tech is also something that we're working on. A variety of different AI initiatives are going on, and we're also developing flagship. I would say all of them. One of the things that is very, very mindful of is the home screen or the front screen or the front experience that the consumers have needs to be more dynamic. Ours was elegant looking, but fairly static in nature. The more dynamic it is, the more people that are drawn into it, the more people use it, and the more people that don't basically close the app and go somewhere else. That's a big deal, but a lot going on. We're still building his team out, and I'll say this, by the end of the year, there'll be some significant progress made, but we've already made some progress, and we've already made some progress already. So they are definitely working now on trying to get Disney Plus better. They are now chasing down Netflix. They know they need to put some more money into Disney Plus to make it better. Yesterday I spoke about how the CFO was talking about merging together all of its platforms, and I think this is the big problem that Disney's had. Is they've got so many channels, so many different streaming services that the money that's being spent and the time being spent is being put all over the place. Whereas if you have one platform like Netflix does, it allows them then to develop much more easily and make changes because they're only focusing on one particular product. Disney Plus has so many different apps. Even Disney Plus has different apps as well, like Disney Plus Hotstar in some countries as well across the Middle East and Africa and in Asia. They have a different version of the app. There's so many different versions. They need to consolidate all of this stuff and make it better. And I do think the priority has been on getting profitable, but also sorting out the mess in the US. That's their core market. That's the one they're most focused on. And I think with the launch of ESPN Flagship, hopefully as well, sorting out the situation with Hulu. Once they do all of that, then their teams can then start working on other stuff. They're bringing people in to make Disney Plus better. And I think they need to, they can't just keep saying, we're new. 5-6 years later, that excuse has kind of worn thin. They need to do better. There's lots of stuff that they can do. I think the addition of an ad-supported tier in lots of other countries, because there's still loads of places they haven't got it, that'll make a big difference in trying to get more people locked in on that lower price to help subscriber numbers. But primarily, they need more viewership. We're starting to see them now internationally starting to license content like The Big Bang Theory. But yeah, so big changes, I think, to the front of Disney Plus. I think it's needed. I think it needs an update. And just having an algorithm to kind of show what you want to watch, maybe changing a little bit between profiles. All of this will make a big, big difference. Yeah, I think ultimately getting rid of so many of the different apps is exactly what they need to do in order to be able to focus. It's like anything. You've got too many projects on the go at once, you can't concentrate. But narrow it down, they can spend that money, spend that time really building out Disney Plus. And that's their aim. They want to make it basically the shop front. That is the way they want to get you in on their content. They know that that's going to be the core app. They've been talking about it for years. It's amazing how slow they move. It really is just crazy just how slow all of this takes. Any other company probably by now would have got there. But again, these big corporations, contracts in place and other reasons and other apps and stuff. But yeah, they're taking forever. But hopefully it will change, because let's be honest, Disney Plus's homepage hasn't really changed much in a long time, and they desperately need it. In the US, it's a little bit different, because you've got like the curated playlists. The addition of the top 10 list, they kind of talked about that being, a good thing and help. It's just a different shaped box. It's okay. But yeah, hopefully we start getting those kind of things being launched internationally would be great. Live events, sports, also like live news, all of this could drastically change how Disney Plus is seen. They just have to put some more effort in. At the minute, it just feels like everything's been on pause while they sort out the US system and just try and stop spending money. But hopefully we see an improvement. Looks like it's coming soon. But let me know what you would like to see on Disney Plus's homepage. What would you do differently? Love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.